Kanye about to release a record.
Kanye West has a brand new album dropping very soon, and I don't think people realize the importance it's gonna hold. Now, for months at this point, there have been rumors spurring all around the internet about Kanye West's upcoming collab album with Ty Dolla $ign, and then after all of the speculation and all of the chaos regarding it ever releasing, it seems that we have finally gotten confirmation that Ye's new record is coming sooner than ever, and it's gonna be even crazier than anybody could have expected. Now, with Ty Dolla $ign posting the entire 18-song track for his upcoming collab album with Kanye, the internet exploded, with some people enjoy that we are on the brink of seeing the return of Kanye West, while others were dreading just the thought of new Ye music. Now, when it comes to the prospect of this Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign album, the potential impact it will have not just on Ty or Kanye's career, but the entire hip-hop world as a whole can be quite catastrophic. Whether you love or hate Kanye West, as I have mentioned in previous videos, this isn't just arguably the most important album he will ever release, but it may end up being the most important album all of hip-hop has seen in quite some time, and not for the reasons you may think. Unlike albums like 808s and Heartbreak or My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, the Ye Dolla $ign album will not be a landmark release for its influence or icon status, but instead it will represent a turning point in hip-hop and really in music as a whole for something a little more significant. Now, as we attempt to understand why the industry is terrified of what this new Kanye West album will mean, we need to be aware of the secret comeback effort that Kanye has been quietly executing behind the scenes for some time already, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me fill you in. Now, in 2023, Ye has slowly been welcomed back into the cultural spotlight, and the way how is because people realize that no matter how polarizing or controversial some things he does may be, Kanye's influence is simply too wide-spanning to ever erase. This was first realized by the public during Rihanna's Super Bowl halftime performance, where she sang songs that Kanye was either on or produced, like All of the Lights, Run This Town, or Have My Money, and from here, Kanye's quiet comeback would only get a lot louder and louder until we have reached the point we are at today. Now, after this, Kanye West would have a production credit on Tyler the Creator's estate sale track Heaven to Me, and this was the first time Ye was a part of any new music release, and with the song being received amazingly, this seamlessly set up the undeniable influence he had on the biggest rap album of 2023, Travis Scott's Utopia. From production and writing credits to songs that Ye straight out gifted Travis, everyone noticed that Utopia was riddled with the musical DNA of Kanye West, and after Travis brought out Ye as a special guest at his Circus Maximus concert in Rome and credited him for influencing not just his latest album, but his entire career in front of 60,000 people, it was clear that while the industry may not want to associate with Kanye West anymore, artists still do, and beyond just this, the people only want to see more of him, and if you don't believe me, Kanye has more monthly listeners on Spotify right now than he ever has in his career, and he ended up being the 13th most listened to artist on the entire platform in 2023. So with this quiet but effective comeback welcoming Kanye's musical influence to the forefront, we are now at the point we are at today, where Ye is finally going to release the loud statement that will make both his fans and haters aware of his return, but the question that is yet to be answered is how will Kanye go about this next step? Now, while many people are expecting Kanye to deliver a more personal album where he addresses all of the turmoil that has happened in his life over the past few years, from everything we know Kanye is going to do with this project, he is going to go in a little bit of a different direction, and this is the smartest thing he could have done, and here is why. Now, don't get me wrong, from this album's lead single Vultures, we know that Kanye isn't going to be acting like the past few years didn't happen, but as unfiltered and fearless as Kanye is to say just about anything, he knows that to pull off a successful comeback, he needs to give people music that isn't undeniably polarizing, but music that's undeniably enjoyable, and this is exactly why he has decided to collab with an artist with as vibrant of an image as Ty Dolla $ign. From the songs we already know will be on the album, like the long-awaited New Body, this is a fun club banger that doesn't have a single thing controversial about it. We have already seen Ty Dolla $ign previewing music from the album in various nightclubs in Europe, and with producers like Metro Boomin and Timbaland confirmed that they will be a part of the album as well, it's pretty likely that a lot of this record is going to follow in the same approach. Now, adding to the spectacle of what this album could be, the rumored features, which include Travis Scott, Playboi Carti, Quavo, Freddie Gibbs, Lil Baby, Young Thug, and Steve Lacy only make the prospect of this Ye Dolla $ign album even more exciting. This album is being designed for the speakers and in hand designed for the masses, and if these bangers do their job, everyone is going to be hearing a lot more of Kanye West very soon. From the latest snippet we have heard of the intro track Everybody, Kanye's flipping the Backstreet Boys' iconic Backstreet is Back sample to end up representing both his return and this exciting new era of his career. Now, while this album will focus on its spectacle, beyond the flashy production and big name collabs, Kanye will be unmasking himself for the first time really since the Donda era, and from the snippets we have heard and the tracklist we have seen, while it's clear this won't be the focus of the album, it will end up being one of its most important and talked about parts. Now, when it comes to the performance of Kanye West, from the snippet of a track like New Body along with his verse on Vultures, while he won't go into the personal depth that he's explored his life in on an album like Ye, we will see him rub in both his most truthful and polarizing thoughts throughout the record's 18 tracks. Driving this album forward from start to finish, Kanye's charisma and attitude will paint us a picture of where he is at in his life, and while Ty's collaborator skills, the features, and the production will help this album reach the top of the charts and the middle of the clubs, it'll be what Kanye does that listeners find most compelling or more detrimental depending on the direction he truly goes in. Now, one thing I want to note here is that from the track list to the fit Kanye was rocking in the latest snippet that was released, we see he is wearing a shirt with the eagle from the German flag on it, and while this may lead to some concerns that Ye is going down a path we don't want to see him on, based on everything we have heard and seen so far about this album, I think this is Kanye's way of just winking and really taunting the media, and considering the record's title is most likely going to be called Vultures, I'd also assume he is using this branding to both play into the controversy just a little bit and to brand the album with a symbol that represents dominance and resilience in the form of the eagle. So hearing the bravado of Ye with the godly melodies of Ty all over production that Kanye has had his hands in, but also producers like Metro Boomin and Hit Boy helping out with as well, it's safe to say that we are going to get an album that is filled to the brim with bangers, and one that could end up being one of the most exciting rap albums of the entire decade so far. Now, while everyone is excited for this album because of the prospect of hearing new Kanye music, Ty Dolla $ign has been the glue holding all of it together because his clean image is giving the public and any potential partners that are going to fund this album the clarity that Ye isn't going to create another PR nightmare. Now, with this said, while Ty Dolla $ign is the force of this album that is sanitizing its image, the record has still faced problems getting its feet off the ground for months, both in terms of finding a distributor and even finding a venue to perform it in for a while, but considering the type of weight Kanye's name holds, this should be no surprise. Even though Ty Dolla $ign is an artist who really nobody has ever said a single bad thing about, this has not been enough for major companies, labels, and publications to overlook their fear of Kanye West. Now, the reason why I bring up Ye and Ty's struggle to release this album for months is to show that while the major labels and players have not taken a chance on the album, the duo has still been able to formulate the vision that they want to on their own merits, and whether you love or hate Kanye West, this is a really good thing for the music world, and here is why. Before the current era of music that we are living in right now, to be an artist who was able to get their voice out to the world, it was very simple. You had to be a part of a label and play within their guidelines, or you simply wouldn't have a career. In decades past, if you weren't a part of one of the major labels in the industry, you would have almost no chance to get your voice out to the world, and even with somebody like Kanye West, who isn't just no longer affiliated with the major label system, but who has been actively blackballed from their networks, which includes being covered only in limited capacities from media outlets they own, and even being banned from all explore options on major platforms like Apple Music. It's a sentiment to the power an artist in today's day and age holds that they are still going to be able to get a project that is going to hold so much cultural significance out in the world despite having all the cards set against them. Now, while Kanye West is still a megastar who is more popular than most other artists on the planet ever will be, the fact that through all of the noise, through all of the factors that would have gotten him blackballed decades ago, he is still standing as one of the biggest players in an industry that hates him, well, it's going to end up showing us something that everyone needs to understand. Now, with Kanye's upcoming collab album, it is going to have multiple major effects that can potentially change not just hip-hop, but really the music industry forever in some pretty big ways. If Kanye and Ty Dolla $ign are able to bring this album to the masses, make it a spectacle, and give us bangers that dominate the public space, all in spite of the way he has been blacklisted from all of the major players in the music industry, including such forces as the second biggest streaming platform, Apple Music, It will be undeniable proof that the importance major labels play in today's industry has truly shrunk to an all-time low, and this will mark the moment where any artist, no matter how small or big, no matter how hated or beloved, can find success regardless of what the powers that be want to dictate. While the independent music scene has been growing for quite some time at this point, it's always been brushed to the side by the industry as something too minuscule to ever affect our operations, but with a superstar like Kanye West not just breaking down walls on how big of an impact an artist who is unaffiliated with labels can have, but also showing how even when you are blacklisted from all the avenues the industry says you need to follow in order to find success, and still giving us something that's going to be such an undeniable cultural moment, for better or for worse. It's going to open up a lot of eyes to what power the modern artist really holds, and this is why the industry is scared. As we speak, and as Kanye finishes this album, he's trying to do such things as free other artists like Lil Durk from their label contracts, and if he can really make a dent in the industry like this, it will be so liberating for creatives all over the planet to see the way this album will disrupt the market, because it will go on to show that with the right circumstances, anybody will be able to insert their own visions into the heart of the music world, and this could even show major artists that maybe they should break away from the major label system as a whole as well. So when we look at Kanye's next album with Ty Dolla $ign, with its release being inevitably soon in the future, as the industry freaks out about the return of Kanye West and all of the implications it will have, I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy the show. So with all that said, I need you to let me know, what are your predictions for Kanye's upcoming collab album with Ty Dolla $ign? Are you
Kanye is a fixture in the industry, right? And with all the banning of Kanye, because people don't like what he say, this is the new wave. As I see it, this is the new wave. The rebellion is on. People are speaking out, breaking chains, stepping on toes, and throwing bows to the gatekeepers. You see it with Diddy. Diddy is on a damn near free fall collapse. I don't know the intricate details of that, but from what I'm hearing, bro, this looks like his all his protection is gone. Whatever protection he had, it's been broken. It's gone. And it all ties in. It all ties in. This is not a singularity. This is the entire sphere. From politics, the movements that go against the norm and stray away from those who were in charge, and absolutely turning your back on the way things used to be, because we don't like the way things used to be. This disparity between the poor and the rich, it's not our cup of tea. We don't like it. And it's a rebellion. A lot of people don't notice it and don't see it for what it is, but all the top tier guys are coming down. That's basically what it is. Let me give you a call back. That's basically what it is. And like it or not, that's what's happening. You know, but we'll continue watching the progress. We'll get into it a little more as things progress, because they do need to progress. Things need to go further.